What's going on? This is Julian with the Game Fanatics, and we're back with another video. This time talking about Remnant 2. Now I know my video is a little bit late compared to some other creators, but there's a few reasons for that. One, I want to speak on, but the second, I really wanted to put a good amount of time in this game before giving my kind of final synopsis, review, whatever you want to call it. And I think because of the type of game it is and because of its rogue-like elements, I wanted to spend a little bit more time with it. Now, a lot of people who may have played the first game, actually, let's go over here to and just have a little bit of the game in the background. I actually don't remember what I'm doing. I think I'm trying to bring up a bridge right here. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about why this has the potential to be one of my favorite games of the year. Now, we're definitely waiting for games like Spider-Man and Starfield, but those games will not diminish the way I feel about this game. Now, I only played the first iteration in this game just a little bit. I kind of thought before jumping in that it wasn't my type of game. Actually, let me clear something off of the screen for a second, just so you have a kind of a clear view. I originally thought that it may have not been my type of game, just with a certain level of difficulty and my lack of time, but I've been hooked. And I think anyone who's into games like Destiny, I think are really going to enjoy what Remnant 2 has to offer. Now, I'm not going to spoil any of the story, but I guess a high level overview, and especially if you are familiar with the first game, then this won't be too much of a surprise. But there's a root that's kind of taken over the world. You're trying to stop the spread. You have some friends that go into a portal. You have to find them. But that's not the most important aspect of this game. It's really the discovery, the kind of min-maxing when it comes to your weapons and gear, and just how the experience of the game is different for everyone. So if you don't know, you kind of get a random roll when you're starting the game. I don't think me or my friends, any of us, started in the same space, so that's always cool to kind of have the chance to talk about the different stories. And then sometimes, even if you roll the same location, it may not have the same loot, and that's where the adventure mode comes in. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But if you're afraid of the kind of the difficulty that you may experience in this game, I wouldn't worry about that. When you compare it to a game like Dark Souls or anything like that, I think the main thing that makes this a little bit more approachable is that when you die, yes, you have to go back to your last checkpoint, but you don't lose anything. So that kind of risk or fear of risk is not really there. But similar to those types of games, and I kind of mentioned it before, you really need to explore every nook and cranny of every map you kind of load into. There's a ton of things to explore and discover. There are a ton of secrets. And I would say, like, I know some people don't like going on the internet and looking at guides on their first go through of some of these games, but this is definitely a game where in some cases, it can be almost impossible to find some of the things that I found. Some things you might just kind of randomly kind of stumble upon. Other things are a little bit more obvious, but like I said, I'm having a ton of fun with the game, and then I think that just that level of mystery is what keeps me coming back. Jumping into a game with a friend or a random person and seeing a weapon that I had no idea existed. Discovering new archetypes and classes that, again, you don't, because I think depending on the level of game you get, you start maybe with 3 different archetypes. I started with the medic, and as you can see on the screen now, I actually have 2 classes, and my second one is the handler. You have a dog to kind of help you along the way. But there's just all these different combinations of classes that can work just great for a lot of people. So I play this game actually a decent amount with friends. Actually, no, I'm not using the handler right now. I'm using the alchemist. I maxed out the handler, so I wanted to kind of put a different class that I discovered on and kind of level that up and see what type of skills that I can unlock, see what kind of works best for me. At the beginning I was playing a lot alone, so the medic made a lot of sense, and as a secondary class, when I was able to unlock that, having the dog companion actually helped me a lot. And I actually want to switch over to talking about the adventure mode really quickly. So if you kind of make it all the way through your campaign, but you don't necessarily want to kind of trash your campaign because you can find something, it's easy to just jump into the adventure mode, restart, or re-roll until you get a certain location that you want, so you can try to find that certain piece of armor or that certain weapon that you wanted to get a hold of. Because I think I've definitely put more than 70 or 80 hours into this game, and it felt like it flew by. It doesn't feel like I've played the game that long at all. It just has some really, really unique looking weapons. Let me see. Let's, like, you have weapons that shoot out lightning bolts that jump and arc from enemy to enemy. And even like I've played against the final boss. There's so many things to discover in this game, and I think just kind of going back and looking at the first game, there's so many improvements. This game is built in Unreal Engine 5, if I'm not mistaken. The level of fidelity difference when you come from one game to the other, there's just so much to kind of take in, and I think Remnant should be on a lot of people's list. It's $50 if I'm not mistaken, and if you want, there are a couple or you can get an upgraded version for, I believe, $60. I'll put that on the screen if I'm incorrect or if I am mistaken. And it's just one of those games, like if you're into shooters and you maybe not into a game like Dark Souls, this is definitely a way to kind of maybe ease your way into those types of games, kind of learn those mechanics. And I mean, it's great. The various worlds are so different and so beautiful. You never know what to expect from various bosses. And there's just so many things to discover. So I'll definitely be playing this game for well over 100, 200, 300 hours. I definitely believe that. And I definitely think you should check it out. And yeah, this has been Julian with the Game Fanatics, and this has been Remnant 2.